Welcome back. Meanwhile, on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, performances are still generally, as a matter of fact, they're getting better. As we speak now, the Usher index of the Nigerian Stock Exchange has moved from 0.36% to 0.42%. And those sectoral indicators that were in the red, some of them are actually getting better. For example, NSE Consumer Goods is now 0.06%. It was higher than that before. NSE Oil and Gas, that was major 1.15% before, is now 0.64%, which suggests that the market is looking good and that there is every possibility that virtually all the sector indicators today would end in green. All right, these are just signs of what to expect after the election on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. You see, one of the ways you could get to make money in the stock market is to be properly informed. And how do you get properly informed? It is having access to the financials of that organization. And that is what we're going to be doing today for Fidson Healthcare Plc. They've been here quite a number of times to talk about our health. But now I'm interested in you being a partaker in the stock of this company. And so we're going to be looking at the reasons why you should be doing that. So I'm here this afternoon with the head accounting and reporting of the company. His name is Kunle Ajayi. He's a stocks watcher too.
Yeah.
All right. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We are saying for the first time in the year, though it is February, Happy New Year to you.
Same to you, sir.
All right. I want everybody, beginning from those cameramen and everyone in the studio seeing us now, and as many that will still see us either on Facebook, on social media, that we would eventually distribute on our website, all right? And we will also still capture this on the radio and use. Why do you think I, as an investor, should invest in Fidson? The objective.
Yeah, of course. Fidson is a company that I've worked for like 20 years now.
Right.
And I think if there is anybody that should speak on this topic, I think I'm qualified.
All right.
I came into the company 20 years ago as an IT student, and I grew to the rank to become the head accounting and reporting today after 20 years. So I've been with the company when we were just 20 members of staff. Today we have over 700.
Wow.
Then we were just distributing. Now we have 2-3 factories manufacturing products, and we have a big head office just there in Ikorodu Road. Out of what we have done over the years, you can see the constant growth in the company. And if there's any company, I'm also a shareholder, I'm not just a staff. I have 15 shares too. I'm a shareholder. I also get my dividend. So if there is anywhere to invest, Fidson is one of those companies to invest, and you can be rest assured that you will not regret that decision.
What is the current situation of the finance of the company? Okay, what was the build-up from first quarter, second quarter, and third quarter of 2018? I know the size of the account is very big, but particularly since you are ahead of reporting, you should have this thing at the tip of your finger.
Of course, of course.
Let's
you know, the company, as at the end of December 2018, of course, we closed with a turnover of 16 billion. 15% increase from that of 2017, where we did 14 billion. And of course, the account is being audited at the moment. We have the external auditors with us working. And I know that from the account, we are not going to do anything less than what we've been doing in the past. Profit before tax of no less than 10% is guaranteed. And of course, we are going to pay dividend. So it is a company that, when you think of investing, or you are part of the shareholders and you need to take up your rights, I think it's just the right thing to do. It is it is going to be an investment in the right direction because the company is doing fine and everything is looking good. Especially this 2019, we are very, very expectant and we believe that we are going to surpass all we've been doing in the past.
Now you
It's so
talk.
clear.
Now that you touched on the right.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, what we got to read on the stock exchange platform is that the company is even reducing the price. All right, the quotation for the right. Is it that the company wants to offer? If you offer your shares too cheap to investor, don't you think that?
Is it that also confirmed that we are also a listening company? We've been discussing with some of our shareholders, we've been discussing with other investors, and they've been talking to us that this thing is a bit high. Can you do something for us? We want to really partake. And we also look at it that since it's our company, we are in it together, they've been with us, and okay, no problem. Let's try as much as possible and make it affordable to as many people as possible so that they can also take their rights. And that is why we have gone to the level of also reducing it so that people can access this, and it's going to be a win-win situation. That is what we have done.
But when is the cutoff date for this right? Is it not passed?
Well, we have extended that, and we are going to have between now and March to close everything, and we can move on from there.
So, which suggests that if anyone gets to hear you and see you now, and still goes to invest in the stock of Fidson on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, they would be able to buy at that discounted value.
Yes.
During the right.
Yes.
Right?
That is going to be the situation.
Okay. But before the right opens, I believe that the audited report should probably have been released to the market.
Of course, as a regulated company, to be in a publicly quoted company, you know that we're also mandated by the Nigerian Stock Exchange to submit our financial report on or before 31st March. So that deadline, we have been meeting the deadline, and you can be rest assured that that is going to happen. So before all of this thing happen, of course, our 2018 financials will have been published, and it will have been.
You are the head of accounting.
Yeah.
What was the factor that stimulated or that motivated the company to come to the market for additional funding?
You know, most of the time, when you have leaders or managers who I call owner manager, there is that concept owner manager, and people are not also greedy. We got to a point in the company that the activities of the company, we have grown and we have a lot of things to do, and it was very, very obvious that we will not have the required working capital to move the company to the next level. And it was obvious that at that point in time, we have to bring in new funds. And of course, the managing director, Dr. Fidel Izayebi of the company, you know, who started the company so many years ago, is somebody that you love to work with. Is somebody who is very generous, is somebody who is kind-hearted, is somebody who will always put the interest of the staff and everybody in mind. And because of that, okay, let's share the company with people. We can as well say, okay, we want to remain privately quoted company, and we are doing our things ourselves. We are not, you know, inviting public to come and invest. We are not calling people to come and do that. They look at it and they agree that the best thing to do is for us to go public. Let's also give the opportunity to other people to be part owner of the company. And that happened in 2017 when we did our private placement, 2007, when we did our private placement, and 2008 we got listed on the floor of stock exchange. And since that time, it's been one good story from one to another. If you check the milestone, we've achieved a lot from that, and that is why we look at it at this point in time. Also, the company is also going to a new phase. You know, I took time to study our financial, and we see the way we have grown. You know, starting from 70 million naira turnover far back in 1995, 2004 we hit the first billion mark. We did 1 billion, and from that time up to now, it has been increased and increased. So it's obvious the market is available. We have what it takes. Everything is there, but what I can call the challenge is funding. And to be able to fund expansion is not a joke. It's a big deal. You need to bring in cheap funds, not ordinary funds. There are a lot of funds out there that are very, very expensive. But we are talking of cheap funds so that people can come and be partakers. People can come and also get their own dividend as part owner of the business. And that is basically what we're doing.
Hello, viewers. My name remains Abayomi Obablujo. I'm the Oracle of the Nigerian capital market. I did not just arrive here after 2 years journey. Having been in the market for close to 30 years. Deducting that from my age, I was just a little bit above a teenager when I started this that I'm doing. Having analyzed stock and invested in the stock market globally, I can tell you, your best bet is to get companies where the owners are also the managers. At that, you are not just taking singular risk. You should know that the owners also that are the managers of the company will do everything to protect not just you, but their investment. In other words, when you are losing, they're probably losing more. And when they make money, they definitely will be making more. When you talk about Microsoft, majority shareholder in that company is Bill Gates. And today, he remains one of the richest men in the world. Berkshire Hathaway. The first time I attempted investing in that company was year 2000. Go and study the books of the company. You will see that they say Warren Buffett is also a major shareholder in the company. He also manages it. So when you see a company where the managers are also the owners of the business, you should put your head and take the risk, take the plunge, and invest in it. We'll have a lot to talk about in subsequent days and weeks, particularly when the right of Fidson eventually opens. Now, round off because of our time. We still want to do a little bit of real estate. All right? Only one question, but answer it in a few seconds. I know that the money for pharmaceutical products comes in trickles, and that the competition, particularly with adulterated products and imported products in that industry, is killing. How is Fidson surviving?
You see, you've asked a question that is very, very important. And you see, it's been very, very challenging. And one of the major things that is needed as an organization for us to survive has to do with having adequate working capital. When you have adequate working capital, because the business, basically in that sector, they are credit-based. You have to extend credits to virtually all your customers. In fact, it's even worse with the institutions, the government institutions, where it takes average of 150 days before you get your money back. But also because you also look at the benefit in terms of patronage, the coverage, the general hospitals and the likes of them, you know, the presence of people. You also look at it that how many Nigerians can afford a private hospital. You understand? I may not have the statistics, but the fact remains that the larger part of us still go to general hospitals. And because of that, you want your products to be prescribed, you have to make those products available there. So it is very, very challenging, and that is why at this point in time, as an organization, we look at it that it is very, very important for us to get adequate funding in terms of working capital. If we have adequate working capital, we can easily find a way of mitigating against those long credits so that we are able to make products available to other people who are ready to buy it, and that cycle continues like that. And that is why we are all out, especially for our right offer to be successful.
All right, if I continue to talk, the remaining segment will not even come up. Only I has a lot to talk about, but we'll get to see. All right, so thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
And